Hey, this is Michael DeSilvis with DeSilvis Media and Renew Hunter Church of Christ. I want to say some things this morning about bullying. Yeah, I still have my tree up yet. I got to get somebody over here to help me take it down because of my back. But I'm going to have somebody help me take it down next week. But anyway, but I want to say to you that bullying is bad. A lot of times when we get behind a computer, especially young teenage girls, especially, and even guys even get on a computer and type behind the keyboard and think they can do it with totally anonymity. Well, those things that you do online and those things that you say, and when you make threats or when you say derogatory things, sometimes can carry along civil, penal, and criminal actions now. So you have to be really careful about what you say on the computer. I mean, I can't stress this to you anymore. I mean, some people have lost their very lives because of some of the horrific things that some people have said to them. It pushed them over the edge to where they killed themselves, committed suicide. I mean, we see case after case after case on the internet where this is happening over and over again. And it's really an atrocity, and it's sad to see something like this happening, you know. In this country where we live in, you would think that people know better what to say and how to react, but people don't seem to know that because they still continue to do it. So all I'm trying to say to you folks is just be careful what you say on the internet. Cyberbullying is a crime, and you can be prosecuted for slander, and you can be prosecuted for falsification, for lying, for making threats. It can be interpreted in some cases as a terroristic threat or a terroristic civil action against someone. So it's really important that you be careful what you say online. Another thing, when we were growing up, we didn't have internet like to the extent of what it is today, 4.0. We didn't even have 2.0. I mean, when the internet, there were only a few addresses where you could go on AOL. I mean, that's the only thing that was around, or you had to access it, all you had was just text. We didn't have all these beautiful graphics like we have today and, chat rooms and all like they have today, because those things didn't come around until like the middle 90s. So in the late 80s, it just just weren't many around, and if there were around, they were just text. You couldn't do all those mojos and smiley faces and things of different emotions, and you couldn't do the different text and fonts and pretty pictures and all that. But now y'all in this generation have wonderful. Another thing I want to touch in is using the internet is one thing. You're knowledgeable about that, but you need to learn how to have good sound wisdom when you're on the internet. Knowing how to use it is one thing, but knowing how to talk and how to treat other people with mutual respect is another. When you're on the internet, you have to be careful what you say, because once you send it out there, it's out there for life. Even after you have deleted the post off Facebook, somebody else may have copied it and put it out somewhere else. So that once you put stuff out, even if you think you got it off there, it may still be out there somewhere else on another search engine or on another site somewhere. So, or it may be kept in law enforcement. Maybe they're looking into it. You don't know, and they're just waiting until they can arrest you for all the things you're saying. So you have to be careful when you're saying things. Now, if you're saying things that are true and you're not doing it in a threatening way, and you're not doing it to stir up racial riots or terroristic threats or civil threats to someone's life, if you're just saying news information, that's a different story. But see, even now, that may become a gray area if people don't stand up and fight against this, because we have freedom of speech, but it doesn't mean that you can go and have the license to kill people and threaten people to push them over their edge to where they commit suicide. It's going to be like killing people by what you say, or clarify that. And, have license just say whatever you think and you're totally darkness, because as long as, there are hacks and there are backdoors in the software and in the computers that you buy and on your phones and tablets, that backdoors exist there too. And on anything, even government computers have backdoors in them. That's why they're always getting hacked too. And, until we fix those back doors in the hardware that the government put in for them to snoop, bad people can also snoop through the same doors too, because they know about them as well. So that's why the door should not be there anywhere. And as long as we have the vulnerability and script coding of the software codec, that's why the vulnerabilities are going to be there too. So that's why I said there's going to be more attacks. When I was talking about Anthem yesterday in the news segment, but there's going to be more attacks because of those reasons. We have to come up with valid solutions. Talk to your children, educate, to speak to your children about the serious thing about cyberbullying, bullying, and also in school too, even online and on other devices and texting. So there's a record of everything. There's a digital record of everything. You know, the NSA is recording just about everything you say and everything you do digitally and even in real life. You know, they can, when something happens, a lot of times there's cameras all around, they can pretty much piece where you've been. And if they can't get it from that one part, you know, well, then they're going to, you know, they're going to get it another way. So, you know, you really need to really focus on that, folks. It is just so important that we educate our young people about how to use the internet, but most importantly, is how they have the wisdom on what to say and what to do on there. And there need to be classes that are in school that are geared for this, not just to teach how to use, but also how to act on the internet, using appropriate speech. You know, it's more kinder to be nice to someone, and it also has long-lasting effects when you tell someone you love them and when you are nice to them than to be mean and ugly and hateful for no reason at all a lot of times, because we're jealous a lot of times. That's why we're that way. And we're envious. And so that's why we're so rude and snooty. Even Christians can be that way sometimes. It can be very hateful and ruin your character because they don't like something about you, or they're disturbed about something you said because they don't like it. And that is just totally wrong. And Christians are just as guilty, and they should know better. They should be setting the precedent. Instead of, you know, causing the problem, they should also be re-educated. I think adults should be re-educated on the internet as well. I think everybody should. You know, using the internet is one thing, but learning how to use it, it's a tool, and it's a wonderful tool. I mean, it's brought business, it's brought Congress, it's brought commerce all over the world. It's increased profits by 100-fold to 1,000-fold in a lot of cases. It's brought people closer together from all over the world. You know, the internet has a lot of valuable benefits as well as tools, but also it's a place where it's bad. There's pornography, there's drugs, there's crime, there's trafficking through the internet. Child trafficking is what we're talking about. There's cyberbullying, you know, of all types. You know, high school, colleges, campuses, yes. Exploitation with sexual pictures. There's a lot of that going on, you know, and sometimes I've had to work with police with that recently with a case here in Richmond. So there's a lot of things that are going on that are really bad. And the thing is, you know, you gotta be careful what you do on the internet, because there is, in fact, a record of everything you're doing, including what I do. There's a record of all the posts I put up, the new stuff. Even this will be copied. And I don't care, because I'm not saying nothing wrong. But I'm going to let you know about the laws, and I've went over a lot of that tonight. This is part 2 to the first one that I published about bullying. It's so important. This is part 2 to that, or B, you could say. You know, let's come up with solutions. Let's talk about this at church. You know, let's bring it into the church arena and with the children, discuss it with our youth groups. You know, let's discuss it with our college age kids and the college campuses all across America. Both Christian and secular colleges need to have this discussion. You know, give them the tools. What can they do to report cyberbullying? You know, what they can do if they're threatened against. These things really need to be talked about, because the laws are changing. And if you do things, I mean, people have been falsely accused, and the CVS has come and taken their children out of the home, or just made their life really a living hell because of what somebody said that wasn't true at all. And then another thing, it has costed people their jobs because of what was said. I mean, you have to be careful what you say, because you could ruin someone's life because of something you say that isn't true. That's why it's so important, guys, to stop doing this stuff, because it will catch up to you, and you can go to jail for this stuff. I mean, some things you can go to jail carries with it up to 15 years. Just for something you say or what you've done, or if you threaten somebody, it's a pretty serious charge. Slander and defamation of character have a 5 to 9 year sentence, and if you've done it before, they'll add more time onto it. So you need to really think about this, folks. You know, stop doing it. That's what I say. Start educating people about it, and everybody, let's all join together, and let's educate this generation about this stuff before we start seeing people get arrested for things that if they knew more about it and they didn't do it, they wouldn't have been arrested in the first place. Because using the internet, like I said in the beginning, is one thing, but knowing how to use it with wisdom and with the right knowledge and understanding as a tool and vehicle, then a lot of stuff can be avoided in the courtrooms and in the people going to jail, and innocent people's lives being ruined because of what someone said that was totally false in the first place. So, you know, because the way things are now, when police look at things like that in Child Protective Services, when they look at things like that, even if it's online, if they see it, it's public, you're not secure. Everybody thinks they're secure behind a keyboard, but you're not. As long as there's back doors and things, there's no security there. It's like your pants are down. And even with the virus and firewall, you have some security, but not much. But even with the tunnel, there's a little more. Maybe you have 5 or 10 minutes if you have 512-bit encryption. But the NSA can crack that in just under 2 minutes. So you're not really secure even behind a virtual tunnel or VPN. So not anymore unless you got 6400-bit encryption. Of course, it would slow down your internet, but it would be well worth it because it would take a long time for the NSA to crack it. But eventually they're going to be able to crack that fast here because the computers are getting faster all the time. So please be careful what you're saying, be careful what you're doing, because it is all being recorded. Okay, I mean, I can't stress it to you. I don't want to see people going to jail for stupid stuff that they put on the internet and post and pictures, like making up fake pages and just going after people because you're mad at them, and you got to get that last word in because you're so controlling, and you got to just make your point clear even though it's not true. It's very damaging and very damning to a person, and it's wrong, and it's not acceptable behavior, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop now. So just remember that. This is in the news about part 2 about bullying. This is a real threat, and it is a real big problem in the United States as well as around the world. It's not just in America. So please take heed to what I'm saying and really start having this discussion with your kids at all age levels. And even adults too need to look at this too and start learning things so people don't start getting arrested for things for what they're saying. All right, it's Michael DeSilvis. Please subscribe down below and please donate to us. I care about you and I love you. And thanks to those that did help us out with the rent. Really appreciate that. God bless you, and I know He will. Thank you, Mechanicsville Church of Christ. And also thank you for First Baptist Church for making a donation for next month. Because during this time, we've had a battery go bad. So I'm using that money to replace the UPS system. That's a universal power supply. So that's what we're doing with that money to pay that so I can replace it. So please, I do computer work. You can go to DeSilvis Media on Facebook to see all what I do and what services I offer and all. It's all listed there, a plethora of stuff, of services, everything from tax preparation, professionally singing, and also DJing and photographer, and of course even video I can do, and all kinds of things. You need to do IT work, all kinds of computer work with tablets, telephones, computers, laptops, you name it, game systems. You can bring them all here and I can look at them. And I'm very reasonable, so please give me a call at area code 804-789-9373 or 804-399-8244, and we can look at your computer. I mean, we take credit cards and we also take cash. Please give us a call, utilize the services. We're DeSilvis Media. That's capital D as David, small e, capital S as in Sam, I-L like labor, and then B like victory, and then I-S, and then media, like it's spelled. It's all caps. And we're in the Yellow Pages too, and we're on the online Yellow Pages, and we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, and we're even on Google Plus. All right, just to name a few, and Pinterest too. So, all right, so thanks a lot, and I'll see you later. Please help wherever you can, because we still need to get some stuff. I got to get my teeth worked on. I need to get some new glasses, because these are all scratched up. I don't know if you can see them, but they are. So, these are things I got to take care of. And the only way I can do this is by doing work. And I'm licensed, and I'm secure, and I'm insured, and I am secure in Christ. But, I'm also a preacher, too. So, yeah, you see me online doing the sermons, yes. That's me. That's nobody else. That's the Lord Jesus Christ working through me. I'm a Christian businessman as well. So thank you for all those that do help us. And love you, and stay strong in the Lord. See you later. Bye.